Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It's a Friday here on the mountain. I just got back from town doing a few things, getting a couple of cheap smoothies. I found a little smoothie place down there. Unfortunately, I'm about to go. I wish I'd have found this thing before. I can get 22-ounce smoothies with fresh fruit for like $2 a piece. So I got a couple of those to hold me over while I was downtown. And now I'm back on the property, just waiting for the weekend to settle in. It's also occurring to me, Friday, tomorrow's market day, that my times at the market are dwindling, and they're very low because I leave 4 weeks from this past Tuesday. So not a whole lot of time, and I'm going to meet Southern Fruity, Aaron Valentine, at this organic market, this fun organic market in San Jose. Hope that'll be a lot of fun. And I'll bring you guys along. But anyhow, we're just going to continue with the weekend series on mindfulness. Today's about letting go, grasping, and aversion. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, click on the little bell, and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Yeah, it's, like I say, I've been in a I've gone into a very reflective place over the last few weeks, and I'm sure that'll even intensify as I go. I'm always kind of like that when I'm about to make a major change, like this isn't a huge change. I don't have furniture and stuff, but I'm leaving one location, going to the States for a while, and when I come back, I'll be in a different part of Costa Rica. So yeah, I just kind of start reflecting, going back over things, my practice has just become such a huge part of my life. And this particular talk today, I work on this one a lot. It's one of the themes that I probably work on more than others, and that's the theme of letting go. And I've found that letting go is one of the most important skills you learn when you start meditating, or especially on this mindfulness task, or especially on the path that I've chosen or the way that I've chosen it. Now, letting go doesn't mean giving up. You get people that are very literal sometime, and they're not tuned into stuff, and they take some of this words and they just want to put it out there. Oh, here they're just talking woo-woo stuff, and it's not really. It's very practical stuff. Most everything I study has a practicality to it. There's not too much of this out there about it, even though it seems like that, because there's a lot of things out there that the Western mind considers out there that other people consider science. So just because you're letting go doesn't mean you're giving up. I want to read you a quote I found, and I don't even know who this would be. It's kind of a very lofty title. It's a quote by the third patriarch of Zen. "The great way is without difficulty. Just cease having preferences." Which kind of means when the mind becomes so free that it is capable of letting go of preferences, the great way is no longer difficult. That's some pretty heavy stuff. And what we're actually letting go of, which leads into the other two parts of the title, is we're letting go of grasping and aversion. And grasping and aversion is basically just, they're opposites, and they're both equally. Grasping is the mind like just holding on to something for dear life. And aversion is desperately trying to keep something away from you for dear life, or like refusing or repelling it or not wanting it. What I try to do in my practice when I'm working with this is, like I say, everything that comes up is just you observe it. Observation is such a key to this practice. When things come up, when thoughts come up, and this is not just in meditation, when things come up in life, you observe them. If things come up that you can change, you can do the best you can to change them. But there are situations that come up that we're not going to be able to change, and we cause more suffering for ourselves. Grasping and aversion probably cause more suffering than anything out there. And people don't quite get that. They don't know how to deal with that because they probably have not been aware of that before. What I try when I'm working on this, specifically about the grasping and aversion, whether it's in my practice when I'm sitting during practice, or when it just pops up day to day, is I'm just trying to observe things without judgment as they are, without putting labels on them, without putting good and bad. This thought is bad, this thought is good. It's a thought. It is what it is. It's out there for a reason. And so much of this labeling and thinking of things in terms of good and bad are what cause our suffering, just plain and simple. I've got some notes down here. You guys know that. One of the benefits to this, and this is kind of where it still tricks in my mind, because is I was reading something else too. So a couple of benefits that can come out of this mindset, or that are kind of further down the road on the path to enlightenment, or maybe when you've gained enlightenment, whatever that is experiencing pain without suffering, and being able to experience pleasure without that aftertaste of being unsatisfied. In other words, like pain. And this is the one that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, because I'm a baby when it comes to pain. I don't deal with pain all that good. And I know a lot of people do. And this may make sense to people or not, and you might want to look into this and get a better explanation than what I can give at my beginner level of understanding on this. But like there's pain in the world, and we can experience pain without suffering. It's just all part of that mindset. It's like, when I sit and practice a lot of time, now these are little pains. We're not talking about things like that, but you start with baby steps. Like if you have a discomfort in your body, the guiding voice that gives just a little bit of instruction in some of my meditations will tell you, like, try not to think of that, even if it's a discomfort, as just kind of see it with that beginner's mind. Just be aware of it, experience it. Maybe when we fight pain, we make it even worse. When even sometimes you even breathe into whatever your discomfort or pain is to kind of try to soften it up. But we can experience pain without suffering, because pain is going to be part of life. And I think the reason that's really poignant for me, and it freaks me out a little bit, is I have a rather unpainful history in my life. As a kid, I never had a lot of major illnesses. I never broke a bone. I never was in the hospital. I never had stitches. I've been, even for the lifestyle I lived for the longest time, I've been fairly pain-free. God, I can get like just slight headaches. And I mean, hearing people, I don't even like to, I tune out when people talk about migraines, because that freaks me out, because I get a headache and I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm trying to start to apply this kind of stuff, and be able to just, at least you're going to have pain. If I can't get rid of the pain, if I can't do anything about the pain, at least I can figure out a way to process that pain and bring on the least amount of suffering as possible. And on the counterpoint of that, it's also we can have suffering from too much pleasure, because when we try to grasp for things that bring us pleasure, we're going to, we're always going to be, we can enjoy these things. What I'm going to say is, I'm not going to say that we shouldn't enjoy things. We shouldn't squeeze the most pleasure out of them as possible. But I guess the best way I can put it, and the way I like to look at it, is I can enjoy this, whether it's an event, a person, a food, or whatever. But if it goes away, or if I'm not able to obtain it anymore, not to let that trouble me, not to let that bring me suffering, to be able to, just to deal with that. So basically, like I say, I think this is going to be a lifelong practice. I just came to it at the age of 53. Sometimes I get thinking like, man, why did I not get on to, just like the food kind of, I'm like, why did I not get on to this particular path sooner? What if I'd have gotten on this path 20 years ago? But then that defeats the practice, because then you're looking into the past. So it's a kind of a mind screw sometimes. But it is what it is, and my practice continues to deepen, and it just really brings me a lot of peace. I found myself, I didn't meditate this morning because I kind of got doing something. It was raining outside. I got involved in something. Then I went downtown. But the past 2 days I've meditated in the morning. And yesterday I felt led to, my normal meditation, or my normal, I always meditate in the morning, but I did my normal meditation in the morning. And then at noon, I'm like, you know what? Good day. It wasn't like I needed to handle anything, but I said, I just feel like sitting again. So I sat for 10 more minutes. But yeah, and I'll just mention it because I just like to kind of keep throwing this in there, although and people that have been following this series have heard me mention it. I kind of restarted my and was able to finally establish a daily meditation practice by using a meditation app. Which I mentioned every time it was counterintuitive to begin with, like, oh, come on, this is technology. Come on, you don't do this. But I got the Calm app, and I actually bought the paid version. It was $60 for a year. And just the process there has helped me to establish that daily thing. Now I've got it established daily, and I am going to keep using Calm for a while. I think probably I'm going to use Calm through the first year. I do some meditations that are not guided like that, and I will probably, when I get to the end of my subscription on this, we will see. But anyhow, this mindfulness practice has just really brought me a lot of peace. It's made a lot of sense to me, and it's helped me to process things a little bit better. I just continue to hope that you guys enjoy this little weekend series. I hope you like this one. If you like it, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Hope you're having a beautiful weekend, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.